Harvey, thanks so much for joining us, and congrats on the Lifetime Achievement Award. I know that the Indspire Awards are airing this weekend, but what did that honor mean to you?
Dennis, thanks for the invitation to be on the show, and the award means a great deal, and I think anyone who has received an Inspire award in the past would agree. But to be recognized by your peers is terrific, but to be acknowledged and recognized by your community is really a blessing. And I'm just very honored to have received the award from Inspire.
Spoiler alert for those watching this weekend, but your son got to give you the award too, eh? That must have been pretty nice.
Hey, talk about a surprise, and talk about a very pleasant surprise. Of course, the guy got his award several years before the old man, but I managed to catch up to him, and to have him on the stage introduce me and present me with the award. I mean, that's like fairy tale television.
You bet. Well, your son might be a full-time professor now, but more than 50 years ago, as a student at Trent University, you helped in the creation of an Indigenous Studies course that would become the first of its kind in Canada, something that's really now a mandatory course for a lot of post-secondary institutions all over the country. How do you reflect on such a milestone?
Well, again, I look back on that history, and I have to pinch myself to remind me that hey, you were actually involved. I was a 25-year-old kid off the res. I was unseasoned. I was only armed with a 4-year undergraduate degree. And the president of Trent University, Tom Simons at the time, said, I like your idea of creating a program that will attract, well, he said the term in the 60s was Native students to the university. And he said, I want you to set aside your plan to go to graduate school. He said, graduate school will always be there, but he said, I want you to come and help me make this into something that will do what we wanted to do, which is bring more Indigenous kids to campus to study and to just to give them a better education.
Right. You've dedicated decades of your life to education. Why has that been such an important issue for you?
Well, Dennis, someone much more important and more knowledgeable than me said that education got us into this mess, and education is going to get us out of it. Mm-hmm. And I've believed that for my entire adult life. And like many other educators, I've recognized that the provincial systems of education, for a variety of reasons, just aren't meeting our needs, aren't meeting the needs of our young people, and that's why they're turning away from formal education. So I've been dedicating myself to really doing as much as I can to make education at the elementary and secondary level more relevant to our kids, to increase the amount of cultural education in the program, so that they can ground themselves, so that they can know who they are, so that they can acquire the resilience that we all need in order to do well and to succeed in our lives.
I think there was a stat back when you were helping put together that course that there was only like 200 Indigenous students in the post-secondary system at that time across the whole country. What have you seen in terms of changes over the years?
Well, it's been remarkable. I mean, there must be. I don't know the exact figures, Dennis, but I'm estimating there's got to be 20,000, 25,000 Indigenous kids in post-secondary education right now, and that's terrific. We as Indigenous people, as the first people of Turtle Island, we've been excluded from the table in terms of what happens in this country, what happens to our communities, what happens to the economy of the country. And the more education our young people receive, will increase the potential for us to sit at the table and make our contribution to improving not only the lives of our communities, but the lives of the country. We're an essential part of Canada, and we know this land like no other people. And for years, our voices have not been heard; they've been silenced. And as our young people increase their education, and then we're going to take our rightful place as members of this nation.
Good stuff, Harvey. Really appreciate you taking some time for us, and congrats again on the Lifetime Achievement Award.
My pleasure, Dennis, and thanks very much.